Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Baz, welder fabber, and today we're going to start this chapter at SBR Coach Builders in Longridge, Preston, and we've got this drag to repair here. Now as you can see, it's jackknifed and bent in the box section. So we've got a 200 by 200 box section. I'm not sure on the thickness yet till we cut it open to see how thick it is. They also want it extending because it's too short, so they want it, I think, around 2.5 meters-ish, something from there. So they're going to want it this length. Now then, whether it's this length to the end of the box section or this length to the centre of the eye, I don't know. I'll find out in a minute. But if we cut it off around that area there, we'll get that lump off. We can reuse that end plate there because that's drilled and tapped. So that's like a 25mm thick end plate, that. So they're just tapped into that, them Allen key bolts. And what we could do, whatever length they want it extending, so to say we were going to weld a piece of box on, say 500mm onto that, we'd be able to get inside there with the gun and weld it all the way around the inside and the outside. Prep the box section on the outside, fully weld it on the inside. We'll prep the new box section that's butting up to this box section, and we'll also sleeve it on the inside. We'll drill this and plug weld the sleeve back to that box section. We'll take that off, we'll cut that off there, and we'll extend that over the joint, wherever the joint is. And I think because we're doing a repair like this, we'll plate it on either side as well, wherever the joint is. So we'll go 300 one way and 300 the other way with a joint. So basically it'll be triple skinned. You'll have your skin on the outside, you'll have your skin of the box, and then you'll have the skin on the inside of the box to give it that little bit of extra strength. So today we're just going to cut this off. Then that will give us the thickness of the box section. We'll take that away with us and weld the new piece on, make the sleeve, and come back another day to weld it back on. So let's get it cut off. So that was just a quick cut off there, nice and square. Put a prep on the end. Actually full of shot blast, look, within the box section. Anyway, if you look inside this one here, where the crease is, so as you can see, it's not welded on the inside. So we are now going to weld that plate to the inside. In between them bolts, we can weld it down each side to give it more strength there. We'll cut that, take that off, and extend that. So that's a piece of 145 by 10 flat bar. We'll come all the way and basically make that flat bar come over this joint. We can take that back to the workshop now because these boys have actually ordered a piece of 200 by 200 by 8, so they can get that delivered into our workshop. You only need 200mm, 200mm plus whatever that is, so 600mm. So the 600mm going on end of that, which is to where my finger is there. So they're just extended in the drawbar by 200mm. So we'll make a box section to slide inside that now, nice and tight. The only thing that messes it up is that seam there a little bit, because I'm going to plug weld it back to each side. But we've taken that away with us. That allows us to get an exact size of what we need to make. 180 by 180 will do, Cal. 180. We want a nice tight fit inside there. The only thing that would stop it is that seam. But you could probably get in there with a grinder, couldn't you? Grind that off. Cal's on the DJI, by the way. We could grind that off. A couple of 100mm down there. Put a slot in plate if needed. Yeah, if we can get a piece of 180 box, or we won't need to make one. 180 box would just slide in there nicely. You know what I mean? Save us actually fabricating a box section to go inside there. mag drill a couple of holes inside, put a couple of holes in the side of the new box section, and plug weld it back, stiffen it up, be stronger than original. Few people shy away from doing jobs like this, but it's not hard. There's nothing hard about it if you know what you're doing. Right, let's get back to the shop. So we just got back to the workshop, and my brother Dan, there he is. Right. So what are these plates for on plasma now?
Biffer hull.
Biffer hull.
Last phase, yeah.
Right, so let's take a quick look at this cutting.
Oh, it's mega. Mega job. Mega job. I can't believe how good it is for plasma.
So we've got, how many plates have we got programmed in here? 32. 32 plates, Cal. How long did it take to program them into the machine?
2 minutes.
2 minutes?
Yeah. Quick buff off.
Oh yeah.
I'm just...
Put a radius on them as well. Nice little touch that, Cal. Cal's done that. I never told him to put radius on.
Yeah. I'm just seeing they're saving a fortune here.
Yeah, we just need to get them suppliers on for the right price on material.
That's right. So we actually did a load of cutting with it the other day, and we went through quite a few consumables. And the reason why I went through a few consumables is because we had it set wrong on the plasma. Now then, if you look at the plasma now, it's set at 70 amps. So when we cut the last plate, we had it set on 130 amps, and we were only cutting 10 milli plate. So we were going through consumables faster. Now then, each tip should give us around 400 to 500 piercings. So that's 400 to 500 time it pushes through the plate. Like this now. Bang, that's one. So we're on a bit of a trial learning period here at the moment. We had them couple of days training, and we're just trying to get our heads around it on the quickest way of putting it into the machine itself. Well, like Callum just said, it took him a few minutes just to do that. I mean, really, I thought that we'd be able to leave the machine and walk away from it and leave it, but I don't really think that's the ideal thing to do. You know, I think it's better to keep a man stood watching it, just in case there is any issues with it, like we had the other day, and it came up with an error code, and that's because we just walked away from it and left it. Obviously, the first few times we need to be keeping an eye on it, a close eye on it at that. We're bound to go through a few little teething problems. We'll absolutely love it. So yeah, on the way back from Longridge then, we went to Preston Scania to look at a new truck that they want us to make a tray for the grab mats on a grab wagon. So I'm going to get on with that in a minute. And we've also got this box section to cut the eye off, haven't we? So we are waiting on the box to come in. 200 by 200 by 8, and I'm going to get a piece of 180 by 180 by 8 to slide inside that. That'll be a nice easy job then. So we just cut that end plate off there and put a small prep on it, as you can see. So we're waiting on some of that box section coming in, some of that 200 by 200 by 8. I've got a few lads in the workshop today. We just had some steel come in for a DTM job, come in cut to length. I've just ordered quite a bit of steel for myself for the job we've got running through for WELDERFABBER. Again, cut to length. And I have decided to buy a new bandsaw. So I've got a bandsaw on order from Clarence Jones Machinery. I am going to let go of my old saw. It's just not cutting stuff fast enough. So I maybe made a bit of a mistake there buying that back, but sentimental value, sometimes you got to let it go, haven't you? And then the plasma has been running pretty much flat out. Callum is actually just cutting the plates for the drawbar. They're going to be the side plates for the drawbar there. And he's now going to cut a top plate for it. These plates are for that steel work job I was just talking about for us. Some base plates for some columns. I just need some 20mm plate in stock for the end plates for the top beam that goes to them columns. I'm absolutely loving this machine. Just so easy to use, and Callum's just got it sussed big time. We've got a new Transit crew cab there. It's come in from Wingnut Utilities. That will be coming in the workshop next for shelving going in where the back seats are. We'll go into more detail in that shortly. But I can't seem to get Callum off the plasma, he seems to love it. Cal? How are you liking it?
I love it. I love it.
What did I say?
It's great.
Bang on.
I've wanted one for years, though, haven't I? As long as I've known you, I've wanted one. So.
Yeah. He's always told me that I needed to get one when we were at Hertz, but that little workshop that we had at Hertz was just too small for one of these. And this workshop's now getting too small for it.
We'll give it a bit more room, couldn't we?
But I've got plans in place to get a bit more room. Right guys, I'm just doing a bit of pricing and I'm feeling a little bit shattered. So we might as well have a haulie. Now this is a haulie that I've never tried before. Kiwi Kimuro. Hey Dano!
Yo!
Do you fancy a haulie?
Yeah, damn right. Hey, have you tried it with spring water?
No,
Sparkly?
no.
Oh, just got to be careful it don't blow the lid off.
Right, is it you that's been drinking all my haulie? Have you been drinking all my
Well,
haulie?
it's me and all lads. We've got to keep them...
Listen, don't let any of them drink my haulie.
Baz, you said from start, listen, keep your lads active, keep them hard working, give them a haulie.
Okay.
So what do? I give them a haulie.
Don't be giving them my haulie, yeah? And listen, if you're using this,
Yeah,
I'd say put a tiny
What's
bit
this
in it.
one? The new one?
Yeah, this is a new one. I'm going to try it now.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Kiwi Komodo. Look at that director.
He ain't having any.
I bet it's
Kiwi Kimuro.
I bet it's not as good as lemon lizard.
Hey, lemon lizard's mint. Right. Good tackle this, Dano. This is where my haulie's been going. Can't believe you've been drinking my haulie.
Well, it's good, isn't it?
I'm giving it to
You
lads.
got me into it. Can't blame me for it,
I'm
can you?
giving it to lads.
Only good lads.
Speedy fast tab.
Speeding fast tab.
Speeding fast tab. I'll tell you about that another day. Right, let's just top them up. Oh, can you see fizz? Can you see fizz?
Oh, yeah.
Blow top off that. Blow top off that. I told you. Right. There we go, boys and girls. Cheers.
Well, it's like having a beer.
Kiwi Kimuro.
God, it's good, isn't it?
Every one of them's good, I'm telling you now.
I know, yeah. I don't think there is a bad one, is there?
No. Remember, there's no artificial colours, flavourings or sugars. And if I were you, I'd start with the starter packs. Don't forget to put in the code WELDERFABBER5 for your first £5 off, and WELDERFABBER for your future orders on 10% off. And stop drinking me Oli. Well, this is a transit tipper in, crew cab. So what we want to make some shelves here basically that they can put all the parts in. It is like a civils company. So I think, do they want to put a whacker plate in it, Cal, as well?
Yeah, they're going to put a whack plate in it. Shovels, spades, big gloves and stuff like that.
So it's going to have a
Fuel.
an aluminium checker plate all the way up here, an aluminium checker plate all the way up here, and shelves there, and we're going to make an aluminium plate to go around the window and fasten it in somehow. Not sure yet, but we're going to put it over that window so they can't smash the window and take what's inside, or whatever's inside can't hit the window and smash the window, if you get what I'm saying. That will be protected from an aluminium plate that comes here. In fact, the aluminium is come in from Alco. We've just had a load of steel delivered as well. Some steel section beams there for our Dan, and a load of hollow section. A few lengths there, some plate for us both there to use on the plasma. We need a sheet rack making as soon as possible. Like I say, we're running out of room. I don't know where we're going to put that sheet rack. Probably going to do away with that bit there and put a big sheet rack over there. So this is the aluminium plate that's come in. That's checker plate, that 2mm checker plate, and we got some 3mm plate for the shelves themselves, and we got the alley box section on the rack here. So we'll make a start on this now, get a frame made, get a frame sat inside the back of the van. We want to make it so it can come in and out of the van. The only issue that we have is this on the floor here, this wire. So we're going to have to make it with like a little hump in it, if you will, to go over that. But now we've got all the dimensions, we can pull the van out. That looks like salt DTM boys finishing for the
53 hours already, it was 6 tomorrow.
53 hours? Is that all you've done?
That's better than a normal week, isn't it?
School hours that? 53 hours?
Oh, hang on a minute, you can't be fucking ball.
How much have you done?
Not many. I'm in workshop.
This is little Dave, yeah? Best little grafter you get. You don't get many more better grafters than this little lad here.
Just need to learn how to weld.
Yeah, he just needs to learn how to weld, does kid. Well, he's a labourer, so that's all we need him to do. Labourer at the moment, but we will teach him how to weld. And look what's just turned up. Carl getting spoilt to death with some alloys. You might get some alloys, little Dave boy. So he wanted some alloys, so we got him some alloys for the van. He also wants some light bars, so I'm going to get him some light bars. And we've just fitted a tow bar on it today. Lad didn't mess about doing that, only took about an hour. So yeah, let us know in the comments what you think about these wheels and us doing modifications to the van. I think it looks good. The vehicles look good out on the road. Couple of beacons in the front grille there. A light bar on the top, the same as Bella Blue over there. And it'll also keep Cal happy. And you never know, you might see a smile on his face. But we'll see. But he has actually mastered the plasma, as he's been doing a lot of plasming today. A lot. And a lot for other people bringing their own plating as well. So that is actually working, that idea that I said. We have gone through a few consumables though. So I am going to work out the costings. I'll probably go into that in detail with you guys further down the line. So Sam's back in, he's been in college. Our little Sam. And he's been welding all... Sam, one sec bud. Sam's been welding all day, haven't you?
Yeah.
All some structural steel beams for our Dan, and I'll show you his welding over here. You can't grumble at that for a 16-year-old, can you? Huh? So this is structural steel work, and you do need to be coded to weld structural steel work. So we did get Sam coded within his first week of being with us. This is a fab area for DTM fabs. This is where they do their fabbing, and we have got a staircase being built. So you'll see this going up over a few chapters. So we'll build it in the workshop, dismantle it, send it away for paint. And then go and erect it on site. So we'll crack on with the frame for the van. And Cal, get your old wheels put on the shelves at the back of the workshop, lad. So it was getting ready for a set of tyres. That was another reason why I went for the new wheels and tyres. Spoilt to death. Does look well, I must admit. It does look well. And we've just made this little frame for a brand new Scania. It's going to bolt to the chassis. Bolt to the chassis there. And which I forgot to put on camera the other day, but I will show you when it's fitted, because that is about to go for paint. Wants a lick of paint on it. So that's a little tray painted and fitted now on this new truck. Brand new Scania grab wagon. I'm not actually sure what that tray is for, but that's what they wanted, so that's what they got. Let's see where Cal's up to with the alley frame. So to get it in and out of the van, we've had to loosen the passenger seat, just to give us a bit more easy access. And we're going to fasten it down to this mounting point here, and where that bracket is there, on both sides. Sheet it up both sides, and then we're going to sheet these windows. Alright, so a young lad called Tom Barber, 23-year-old kid, just starting out, Barber Construction. And our little Sam's just done the first steelwork job, his first steelwork job, should we say, for Tom. Just a 203, 203 UC there, with some posts, 152, 152. Little goal post for him. And these are his lads. Alright, bud. So, Barber Construction is part of the Broad Oak, is it? Is that, just tell me the setup with the companies.
It's Broad Oak originally, Barber Construction, combined with them.
They combined the companies. Right, so Tom Barber, he's only 23, isn't he? Yeah, so he's a young kid starting out, so we thought we'd help him out doing a bit of steel work for him, and there you have it. So hopefully we'll do a bit more work for him in the future. I love to see young lads coming into the game, especially at 23 years old, and where he's at now within his company already. You alright with that, bud? Cal getting wet there. We have a raker box section in for DTM to cut up, and we're having a few issues with our saw. So like I said in a previous chapter, we have got a new bandsaw on order, and it should be here. See you later, boys. It should be here within a couple of weeks. From Clarence Jones Machinery, and the plasma's been running flat out. And even Tab's got used to it now.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. And then look at this for wing nut. So we've got a little crew cab transit that Callum's been working on. Brand new. Now that is actually for putting a whacker plate in. Put a whacker plate in there. Put the shelf up here. We're going to put an aluminium plate over this window here to stop anything hitting the window and smashing it. And also getting broke into. 24 plate. And this side we just got some shelves in. That's bolted down to the floor, absolutely solid. And I've got to go over to a meeting at Fagan and Whalley in Padiham. They want me to go and check a few jobs out for them guys. But if you look at the workshop, we've got a raker box section on the bottom of the rack there, and all that box section outside. All that is to be cut at the moment. Like I say, we're having a few issues with the saw. It's, I think there's a problem with the ram on it. It needs, because what's happening is it's dropping fast. It's dropping fast, and as soon as it hits that first bit of steel, it's damaging the blades. So we're going through a lot of blades. So basically, it needs the ram either bleeding or low on hydraulic oil. I'm going to have a check it out in a minute, see if we can sort it out. And as I get back in the office, I've just had a phone call off Howard Stott. They have got a Power Screen 400X crusher on site over in Huddersfield, and they've just got an issue with the mag belt. If you can see in that picture there, that guard there is bent, and all the material is building up in between the belt and the guard, causing the belt to jam on the head drum. So that guard will have to come off and be straightened and then rebolted back on. So I'll head over to Huddersfield myself, and then I'll call in to see Adam at Fagan's on the way back. And that's our Dan calling me. Oh. Yo. So just landed in Huddersfield, and here we got a Power Screen 400X. Proper crusher. And the problem is, all this material that's running through the machine, or should I say it's getting processed before it goes through the machine. I don't know how much of that's actually come off the mag belt. You see how we're getting chunks stuck within the magnet. And for those people that don't know, that magnet, that belt is spinning round quite fast and then throwing the steel off before it goes off the end of the belt. So it is jammed up at the moment, and it has bent that guard there. So what I'll do, I'll just fire the machine up now. I'll just track it over that way a little bit. I'll lower the belt down. We'll take the guard off, and then we'll have a look inside to see if we can take any material out that's stuck within the magnet and the belt. Bit of a demolition job going on right in the middle of this town. Nice to get back on the crushers. Wonder all the toggle plate is. Toggle plate and spring assembly. At that back end of that spring assembly, see that big nut? That's the old style. So there's a new style where they put a grease valve on the end of that now to save you climbing in there with a big spanner. So just lowering the belt down. So we can climb onto the belt and get to the magnet easy enough. Whilst I'm here, I'm going to have a good walk around the machine and give it a bit of an inspection. Just make sure everything's alright with it. Like that, we need a little clip on there, a little clip missing off there. We'll give it a good once over whilst I'm here. We'll switch the machine off and we'll isolate it before we do any work on it. Lock off, put a padlock on there so nobody can fire the machine up, especially when you're working with inside the box itself. This is a BAM site, so I'll get full orange gear on, yeah? Need full orange on BAM sites. Put some wets on. Okay, so I've got the magnet cleared out now. There's a big lump of rebar stuck with inside the belt. So if we get close to the magnet, it might start to fault the camera. So we took a lump of rebar out of here, and we took a lump of rebar out of here, this side. Alright, let's just go close to the magnet. It's not doing too bad. I can feel the DJI going funny in my hand. Now then, with battery powered tools near a magnet, watch this, switch itself off. So I'll straighten the guard up on the floor now. We'll get the guard back on and check the belt's running alright, smoothly in line. So that's the mag belt all up and running okay. Spotted a problem within the jaw box. So I'm going to sort next. So this crusher's done 2,660 hours. It's in really good order, and I think from now on I'm going to do all the maintenance on this crusher. But Howard, proper crusher. Okay, so I've just stood up inside the crusher now. This is the engine bay behind me. This is the feeder. That's the feeder, that's the jaw box. So there's a pin missing out of here, so I'll just put a bolt in it for now. This rubber flap here should be up and over and hooked into this point here. What we'll do, we'll lift this guard over, so that sits over there. We'll lift that up and then we'll grease the jaw. Now then, these are your main grease points on your main bearings. Your bearing there, you've got a bearing there. So you've got a grease point up there and a grease point there, and same at this side. So these are the bearings that you want to keep on top of more than anything. These bearings cost thousands, whereas the bearings on the belts and the conveyors cost like 50 quid. Do you know what I mean? So, and a couple of hours to change one. Whereas these bearings, if these bearings were to fail, you're looking at a day of a job and thousands of pounds just for the bearing. So the main bearings need to be greased every 8 hours of running, every 8 hours of crushing time. And the belt bearings only need doing, the conveyor bearings only need doing like once a week, every 40 hours. All right, that's my rule anyway. So I'm also going to check the bolts on the jaws, make sure the jaws are tight. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the swing jaw, and then behind the swing jaw you've got the fixed jaw, which is just inside the feeder there. And we'll check them 4 nuts on the back of that fixed jaw as well. So basically I'm just giving it a quick once over before I leave. So I'll just give you a quick look in the jaw box for those people that don't know much about crushers. That's your swing jaw, and that's your fixed jaw. As you can see, that's been turned, as the top's very flat. The bottom still got a bit of life left in it, and there's still a good bit of life left in the swing jaw. The cheek plates are getting a little bit worn on the outers there. You can look down the side of that, and probably be behind that rock there. Feeder looks okay, hopper looks okay. I can tell it's been maintained well over the years just by looking around it. The chute, the back chute at the moment, the side conveyor, the hopper is starting to build up. The lever is in the right position to send all the material through the jaw, but we're just going to drop the side belt and we're going to clean it out, as you'll see in a minute. So that's your side conveyor, as most people will know that's watching this channel. Fines conveyor, some people call it. This little chute here can get blocked. You see there's material sat on the belt there. If we have a look round this side, we'll check to see if the lever's in the right position, which it is. It needs to be in that position to send all, so there's a plate there. There's a plate sat there blocking that conveyor, blocking that chute off, yeah? So that sends all the material through the jaw and behind the jaw. Whereas if you were to pull that lever, then material will drop through the pre-screen down onto this conveyor off the side, pulling all the fines out of the material, or whatever mesh size you put in. So underneath the pre-screen there, you see that bolt there? That is holding a mesh in. And that one there, so it'll have a bar running right across there that's holding a mesh in. Now then, depending on what size material you want to come off that belt is depending on what size mesh you put into that pre-screen. Or you can pull the mesh out and just let it run and drop onto the belt. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to lower this belt down, take this pin out, fire the machine up, run the side belt just to get rid of this material, to keep the build up off that, because before you know it, they'll want to use it and they won't be able to move the lever because there'll be too much material in there. So let's start the machine again. So now that we've fired the machine up, we need to make sure the auxiliary is running to run the side belt. So now you see that there. Now we'll be able to move the lever at the back to drop the side belt down. So these are your controls. And then which one is it for the side belt? It's this one for the side belt here. You watch. I push that lever. Side belt drops. You can see the material build up there. So hopefully that belt will run and there's not too much weight on it. We'll soon find out. So we'll go to side conveyor, on, switch it on. It's not firing. What I'm going to do, we're going to see if the motor's running. So the motor is running. You see the well, there's too much weight on it to pull it round. What I'm trying to do now, I'm just trying to free it up a little bit. I get a bit of traction on the belt. It's moving slowly. Right, so I can't get the belt to run, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to drop this panel down here. Try and dig some of this muck out with inside here. Can you see that? Just to free that belt up a bit. I don't want to leave all that muck in there. So just so you can see what I'm talking about. It's not too bad. They usually fill right up here. Yeah? But what we can do now is just dig this out, get a bar on it, and get that belt running freely. So that just took a lot longer than I thought. You know, when you start a job sometimes you think, oh, why did I bother doing that? But I'm pretty sure Howard wouldn't want me to leave it like that. We'll get some grease in these tail drum bearings. I'll have to take every panel off. As you can see, we get all the muck out. Now what it was, mainly, all the muck was stuck in there, so it was trying to go behind the tail drum. So jamming every time, jamming every time. I weren't leaving it like that, let me put it that way. At least I know the bearings are all good. So now I'll put all the panels on and that's me done. Okay, so I've just come off the phone to Howard. Thought I'd give him a quick ring to let him know what we actually did to the crusher just then. Now then, one way of preventing that from happening is to run the side belt once a week, even if you're not using the pre-screen, right? So if you've got the crusher running and you're not using the side belt, it's still gonna back up slowly, back up over time. Yeah, they've never really used the side belt, and they wasn't gonna use it on that job. That was only me doing my checks on the machines that spotted that and wanted it to sort it. Yeah. So I did suggest to him moving forward now over winter, weld plates over the pre-screen and send all the material through the jaw, so there's nothing going into that chute that goes behind the jaw that will prevent that from happening. Yeah, because now the winter months are coming. Basically, you're not going to be running fines on the fines belt. You want everything to go through the jaw. So the best solution for that is to weld plates over the pre-screen. Yeah, so I think that's what he wants me to do, but he's going to wait for the crusher to come back in the yard before we actually do that. All right, and we're going to get back to the yard. We're going to look at the van. The van's finished for wing nut. So, and then we're going to go and do the drawbar up in Longridge. Back in the workshop, and I'll just show you this crew cab pickup with the aluminium racking in it. Now this is a 3.5 tonner, and that's why they're trying to keep the weight down with the aluminium. Now that's for a whacker plate going in there, brushes, shovels, etc. All the bits that they need for the civils. And we put an aluminium panel over the window because they're putting a sticker over here with all the names on and stuff. And that's only really to stop things smashing window from inside. And with some shelving in the other side. Well, this will be being picked up today, and then there'll be another 2 to be done. But now we've got all the dimensions, we don't need the other pickup down here.
Bad job, eh?
Not a bad job, yeah. Let's take a look at the drawbar. That's the damage section we've cut out. That's a piece 600mm long because they want to extend that 200mm, and that's 400mm. We're going to use this as a sleeve, but we're going to cut it down. So we'll cut it down, shrink it down a bit so it'll slide inside that box. Once it's inside that box, then we can fully weld it on the inside. Put a nice prep on this. Put a nice prep on that, weld that to that. And once we've got all that prepped up ready to go, we'll go up to Longridge and weld it onto the drawbar. Yeah? Easy enough. And we'll place it on the outside as well for these, as you'll see very shortly. Right, so it's got to that time again. Bingo, as the director likes to say. We're just cutting some 3mm aluminium on the plasma here. So please like and subscribe, guys. Cheers, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.